Alright guys, here's this Simplicity tractor from a previous video that I showed you. And as you can see in here, it's leaking oil pretty good from the behind the PTO clutch. So I'm going on the assumption that the crank seal has gone bad. So we're going to go ahead and pull this PTO off and take a look at that crank seal. I'm going to remove this 5/8 bolt here on the end of the crank first. Alright guys, we're back on this Simplicity tractor. Well, as you can see, the crank bolt seized into the crankshaft. The head of the bolt snapped clean off. I spoke with the owner of the tractor. He said that he'd been on here before trying to get the old clutch off, heating, banging, pulling. So I'm thinking that the threads got a little jammed up. I could try to remove that. However, there is enough bolt sticking out and enough thread that I was able to clean it up, and I can now get a thinner flat washer and a lock nut on the crankshaft to hold everything in place. And I spoke with the owner, and he decided that would be a good route to go. That being said, I did get the new seal in there. Right now, I am currently draining the oil and doing an oil change. And once the oil change is taken care of, there's a few other odds and ends on this tractor that need to be addressed. Now, this tractor has a leaky power steering cylinder. The rebuild kit for this, I'm having a heck of a time finding, and they do not make the cylinder anymore, so that's out of the question. But I'm going to try to either rebuild or see if it can be rebuilt. Also, you'll notice a bunch of oil on the deck. This tractor has a gearbox. The gearbox was rebuilt, or resealed I should say, at a different mower shop here, and it's leaking out of the bottom seal. So either that seal had been forgotten to be replaced, or it's fallen out or come loose. Anyway, it's leaking, so I have to take a look at that as well. But that's where we're at on this Simplicity. I'm going to go ahead and put the drain plug back in, and then we're going to tackle this oil filter. And in case anyone is wondering, the oil drain plug is actually underneath of the tractor, up next to the frame rail. The other way you could drain the oil on this, and these are 18 and 20 horsepower Kohler Magnums, is there's another drain plug right here on the front. But the one that I've elected to use is on the side of the engine. I guess you guys can see down in there, that little elbow points down and out underneath the tractor's frame. And to remove this oil filter, I simply moved my drain pan farther up underneath the tractor, placed a towel to catch some of the oil underneath of it, and I'm just using an oil filter wrench, and you just simply twist the filter off. And there's a new oil filter installed. This was provided by the customer. Not sure exactly what brand it is, but it fit. It fits this Kohler engine along with some Tecumseh and Briggs. And this 20 horsepower Kohler Magnum gets 42 ounces of SAE 30 oil. And here she is running. Been running for a few minutes now. I don't see any oil leaking out of the crankshaft. However, there is oil coming out of the sensor, so that's going to have to be replaced. I'm Darren from Grass Ranch Garage. Get out there and enjoy your weekend.